Hello YouTube. The other day I made a video titled "Can Ripple XRP make you a millionaire?" and you guys seem to really like that video. Then yesterday I followed it up with another similar video. How much can $1,000 in Ripple become? And that was even more popular, and I've gotten a lot of really great feedback for it. And something a lot of people have been asking is for me to do similar videos about other tokens. So with this video about EOS, I'm going to start making these regularly and looking at a different token and potential price predictions every time. Now, what I'm going to do in this video, go to the first slide here. What I'm going to do in this video is I am going to look at a few potential price predictions for the EOS token. Those will be primarily based on the total market cap of the crypto market, on potential heights it could reach, as well as on EOS's position in the market share wise in the crypto markets. Now, I know that EOS is a very controversial project, and I realize that there's a lot of criticism of EOS, a lot of valid criticisms as well as not so valid ones. I'm not going into these today. Today I am looking at the project only as an investor, and if you want to discuss the coin in the comments, feel free, but this is not what this video is about. This is not about my opinion about EOS, this is not about the pros and cons of EOS itself. I'm not going to talk about their technology here, I'm not going to talk about the company behind it or the token. That is not what this video is about. In this video I will simply present possible price scenarios for EOS, from the very likely to the completely outrageous. And I'm going to look at how many EOS you will need to buy to become a millionaire of EOS, given those predictions. And at today's price, how much you would have to spend. Now, first of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a professional. I'm going off simple calculations here. Please do your own research before you invest in any cryptocurrency. And please never throw all your eggs into one basket. Always diversify your portfolio. Now, all calculations in this video are based on the current price of EOS. As I made this presentation, it was $5.05 per EOS token, and all projections and calculations are rounded and do not take into account potential fees or taxes. Now, fees and taxes, of course, different depending on where you're trading, which country you're in, and even within a country they might change as new regulations come into play. So I'm not going to take these into account at all. And then last up, these are various potential scenarios based on different assumptions about the future of the cryptocurrency market. I am not making any definitive claims in this video. Now, unlike with XRP, EOS presents me with two additional problems here. Now, XRP has a lot of financial experts and crypto experts have made price predictions for XRP and have shared what they base them on, and I was able to include them in this video. With EOS, I haven't been able to find a single big name in the crypto world or in the financial world in general who has made a price prediction and who has provided reasoning for their prediction. So I wasn't able to include any predictions from other people in this video. I'm just going through potential price predictions based on market movements. And secondly, XRP, or Ripple as a company, are tackling a very specific problem that can be evaluated easily. They are tackling the problem of SWIFT, and that is a $24 trillion problem. So it is easy to evaluate Ripple as a company using traditional financial models. Now, EOS also has various use cases, but they don't have one particular problem they are aiming to solve. So it's much less difficult to make assumptions from that angle. So all I'm going to be presenting in this video are price predictions based on potential market movements. Take these with a massive grain of salt. And I'm just presenting possibilities. Please look at them as just that. But enough talk, let us get into the first. And I'm starting small. Scenario number one. They will all have this layout. The assumption. Everything will start with an assumption. EOS returns to its all-time high in the next bull market. Now, EOS's all-time high was a price per token of $22.89, significantly higher than it is today. Today, of course, it is $5.05. Now, if EOS were to reach that price again, in order to have $1 million worth of EOS, you would need to buy 43,687 EOS tokens. Now, if you were to buy them today at the current price, that would cost you $220,620. So, scenario 1, if EOS returns to its all-time high and you buy today, you would be turning $220,000 into $1 million. Doesn't sound that impressive in the crypto world. We have seen coins go up 100, 1,000 times their previous value, but in the traditional financial world, this still sounds really impressive. 220,000 into $1 million. Now, like I said, I'm not going to make any concrete statements here. Nobody ultimately knows how the future will turn out to be, but I think this is very likely to happen if we face another bull market, if everything goes back up to roughly the value they were in the past before. Now, next up, scenario number 2. The rest of the scenarios in this video will all have this exact format, just with different numbers in the calculations. This is the most conservative, so let us go through it. The assumption, the total crypto market cap reaches $1 trillion. Now, for reference, right now, the crypto market cap is $195 billion. The all-time high was around $800 billion, so it has been awfully close to this before. And the second part of the assumption, this is a two-part assumption. Part 1 is the crypto market cap reaches $1 trillion. Part 2, EOS remains in 5th place by market cap with roughly 2.5% market share. Now that is the market share it has right now, rounded of course. In that case, EOS would have a market cap of $25 billion. Now we have to divide that by the 900 million EOS currently circulating. The total supply is 1 billion EOS and is potentially inflationary at up to 5% per year, but that has to be voted on. For simplicity's sake, I just calculated the roughly 900 million circulating right now. It's slightly more than 900 million. I believe it's 905 million now. But that is just, that is the number being used on CoinMarketCap, so I applied this number. At that level, at that market share, at that crypto market cap, the price of each individual EOS token would be $27.78. Now at today's price of $5.05, you would need to buy 35,997 EOS tokens, which would mean spending $181,785 to potentially make 1 million out of this investment. Now, I would say this is still very much a realistic estimate. We have already been at 800 billion crypto market cap. EOS has managed to hold on to 2.5% market share for a long time. There is definitely potential for this to be in our near future. Now, next up, let's increase some of these numbers. Scenario number 3. This is a bit more out there, but I would say this is still a possibility. The total crypto market cap reaches $5 trillion. EOS remains in 5th place with roughly 2.5% market share. Now, 5 trillion is a lot of money, of course, but this is still a number that a lot of people in the crypto world are predicting we will hit within the next couple years. The primary reason for this is the previous growth of the crypto market. We have seen the market just about double every year for a couple of years now. It has gone from 200 billion to 400 billion to 800 billion, and it's just a few more steps from there to reach $5 trillion. Now, of course, with as many large corporations trying to get into crypto, with all the institutional investors flowing in, with more mainstream use of crypto, of blockchain technologies, this is a number that the crypto market, in my humble opinion, can hit. And we are assuming that EOS once again remains in its current position within the market. Now, something to keep in mind is that when the markets go up, altcoins tend to actually go up more than Bitcoin and achieve a higher market share than they previously had. So in all likelihood, EOS will actually achieve a higher market share. But you can always just double the numbers if you want to calculate with double the market share. So I just took these numbers because I had to take some. Now, in that case, the EOS market cap, oh, I accidentally went back. Oh, once again, I'm sorry, I'm bad with this. This is only the third time I'm using the Google Docs version of this. The assumption, of course, market cap 5 trillion, EOS remains in 5th place with 2.5% market share. In that case, the EOS market cap would be at 125 billion US dollars. Once again, we are dividing that by the 900, roughly, million EOS circulating. In that case, the price of each EOS token would be 138.89 US dollars. Now, at that price point, you would need to buy 7,200 EOS tokens for them to be worth $1 million. At the current price today, $5.05, that would cost you 36,360 US dollars. So in this case, you would have an investment of 36,000 and you would be making $1 million. Sounds crazy? Definitely does. I would consider this still one of the more likely scenarios in the long term. But like I said, take everything here with a grain of salt. There is a strong speculative element to this. I am basing these on what I believe to be realistic future scenarios, but ultimately there's a strong level of speculation. And yeah, a strong level of speculation. We have to make realistic estimates, but ultimately they're still estimates. Now, next up, another variation. The total crypto market cap reaches 10 trillion US dollars. EOS remains in 5th place with roughly 2.5% market share. Now, 10 trillion, once again, doubled from the previous prediction. This is still a number that a lot of crypto people are throwing around. This is pretty much assuming that crypto will achieve massive dominance over the financial market in the near future. Not complete dominance, but that crypto will pretty much become the biggest player in the financial world. Now, in this scenario, EOS still in 5th place, still 2.5% market share. In that case, the EOS market cap would be 250 billion US dollars. And that, with 900 million EOS circulating, would get us to a token price of 277.78 US dollars per EOS token. Now, with this scenario, you would need to buy 3,600 EOS tokens to have $1 million US dollars worth. And that would cost you at the current price 18,180 US dollars. So less than 20,000 invested for 1 million US dollars. Now, like I said, this is a very high prediction for the crypto market, but this is still a number that people are citing, and this just expects that EOS remains in the same place it is in now. Now, remember, once again, altcoins generally rise to a higher, altcoins generally gain more than Bitcoin does, because Bitcoin drags everyone else along. And when Bitcoin is doing well, people are a lot more hopeful about altcoins and rush into them. So what we see traditionally is that altcoins gain more. So if the markets do go to 10 trillion, it is likely that Bitcoin will lose market share significantly. Right now it is at almost 56%. It is likely that that will halve or more. And then other coins will probably be able to gain significantly more market share than they have right now. So if you want to, you can double these numbers. But I prefer to make conservative estimates because I don't want to be a channel that just hypes bullshit. Next up, scenario 5. We're going back to a smaller crypto market evaluation, but instead we are assuming that EOS gains significantly in terms of market share. Now, if we assume that EOS takes off, that a lot of dApps get built on top of EOS, or dApps, and that EOS becomes a major player, more major than right now in the crypto world, we can expect it to attain 10% market share or more. So I'm making this presumption here. The market evaluated at 1 trillion. Like I said earlier, we have already seen the markets at 800 billion before. So 1 trillion is very much not out of the possible. This is almost a certainty if the markets don't crash completely in the coming years that we will reach 1 trillion at one point. So here we go. EOS market cap under those circumstances would be 100 billion US dollars. Once again, with 900 million EOS circulating, we reach a token price of 111.11 US dollars per token. In that scenario, you would need to buy 9,000 EOS, and that would get you 1 million US dollars worth of EOS. Of course, rounded numbers, you can see that here. At today's price of $5.05, that would cost you 45,450 US dollars to make potentially $1 million. Now, next up, we have another similar scenario, this time with the more out there valuation of the crypto market at 10 trillion in the future. And once again, assuming that EOS attains 10% market share, so that EOS's market share will be 4 times what it is right now. In that scenario, the highest one so far, EOS would have a market cap of 1 trillion US dollars with 900 million EOS circulating. That gets us to a token price of $1,111.11. That price, you would need to buy 900 EOS at today's price, that is 4,545 US dollars. Now just think about this for a moment. Now, I don't know how realistic it is that we will see a 10 trillion market cap for the crypto markets, but with all the money behind EOS that they are throwing at development, I don't think it is out of the possible. I don't think it's impossible for EOS to attain 10% market share in the near future, especially in a bull market where altcoins will gain more than Bitcoin. Unless EOS completely crashes and burns, I think in a bull market it is very likely for it to reach 5% or more of market share. But like I said, that is just my prediction here. And I am looking at this entirely as an investor looking at the numbers. I am not talking about my opinion of EOS as a token or the company behind it here. I'm not talking about ideological aspects to their approach here. I'm just talking about what we have seen the token do price-wise, where the markets could go. So that is all I'm looking at here. And last but not least, I want the last prediction to always be particularly outrageous for these videos, and I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to decide if you think this will realistically happen or not. But here, this one. Assumption: the total crypto market cap reaches 10 trillion US dollars, the same high assumption that we've used in 2 previous scenarios. But now we are imagining that EOS attains 25% market share, which would almost certainly place it in number 1, assuming that Bitcoin's market share will go down in a bull market. It would at the very least place it in the number 2 spot, which right now Ethereum is safely guarding. Now, if this were to happen, the EOS market cap would be 2.5 trillion US dollars. Now, once again, we are dividing that through the roughly 900 million EOS circulating, and we reach a token price of 2,777.78 cents. You can see this number was rounded. In that scenario, you would need to buy 360 EOS tokens to have $1 million US dollars worth of EOS, and those would cost you only 1,818 US dollars. So in this scenario, you would spend under 2,000 US dollars to make $1 million. Now, I don't know if this is realistic. I'm putting it out there because if I don't do it, someone will tell me that I should have used higher numbers. I'm putting this forward as a possibility. This is the last scenario for this video, so I'm gonna end by saying that I think these all have arguments speaking for and against them. I think theoretically, none of these are impossible, but apply some common sense when you look at these, and keep in mind, this is my opinion, not really even opinion. These are my calculations based on some assumptions that go from very likely and common sense to significantly less likely, but still, in my opinion, in the realm of the possible. And also, my method of calculating here is relatively crude. I'm not a mathematician, I'm not an analyst, I'm not an expert in these things. There are other better ways of calculating how high a token price should be, but I just use this very basic way just to give you some potential future outlooks for this token. Now, I'm gonna end the video here. I will do this for other tokens in the future, and thank you very much for watching. In the description you will find my social media links as well as ways to support this channel if you would like, and I will see you guys soon.